Okay, great morning, everyone. Oh my goodness, this is a talk. Every once in a while, I have to give this talk. Now, what's the talk about? Now, last evening in my house, I heard this big crash in the kitchen, and then I heard it by the table right by where I'm sitting, another thing, like something was really jostled around, and nothing's taking place. Okay, so people are, I've heard that number of people, I won't say a lot, but a number of people have been having the same types of things taking place. They hear this big crashing sound, this big loud sound, or something out there being moved, and they go and there's nothing happening. Okay, just nothing. So it could be just that, like I said, everything is in flux and in shift now with what's going on. And so it's a sound. That's it, But it's nothing to get worried about. Some people are saying, oh, you need to go sage your home. Oh my God, put a white light around yourself. Protect yourself, put a white light. And okay, so that's what I want to address today. Now, these noises, these things that are happening, it could be that, all the stuff going on, like I said, this is the great division that's taking place. And it could have something to do with that energetic shifts that are taking place, etc. So, yeah. It could be, I did reading, it could be somebody is going to pass, could be something of that sort as well. But we'll see. It could be any of the above. Okay. Now, when people say to me, you need to protect yourself, put a white light around yourself. Oh my God, do sage, do this, do that. And really, when did this begin? When did this thing about you need to put a white light around yourself begin? So this is something I really want people to understand and get. Okay? When, please tell me, when did Christ ever say, make sure to put a white light around yourself, protect yourself? That is the opposite of what he's ever said. He said, fear not. Greater is he that's within you than he that's within the world. So what does that have to do with, oh my God, put a white light around yourself? Because when you do that, let me tell you what you're doing. In essence, you're saying, I'm in fear. I'm in fear. There's no power here. I need to have a white light around myself to protect me. Okay? So what you're telling the darkness when doing that is, I'm vulnerable. Okay? I'm vulnerable. Okay? So no. At the center of being is the divine is. That's like when I lived in India. One guy was there. And I just laughed. He's, meditating to become a light body. And I just laughed. And he's looking at me, well, why are you laughing? Because don't you understand, when you leave the physicality of form, you are a light body? That's what you are in essence. So you're sitting there trying to make yourself become what you already are. What what a waste of time. Do you not understanding that you're made of light? Okay? What animates you, what gives you life is that divine is, that light beyond all lights. Okay? So what, you're saying you're not that? You don't accept that you're already that? So you've got to try to become? So you've just made yourself lesser than? You know, now I have no fear of any of those types. Another story, when I was in India, I had a student, and right next to him, in the room next to him, was this guy that does black magic and stuff, and he's supposed to be this powerful guy. And he heard this guy, you know, chanting and doing these dark things against him, and he was so scared. And I just confronted that guy out there, and I said, you knock it off right now. Don't you ever address anything to my student again. You know what he did? This big black magician, he ran to the police to protect him against me. So, let me tell you, like Christ said, or do you think Christ was a liar? Was Yeshua ben Joseph a liar? I don't think so. And the thing he said, fear not, greater is he that's within you. That divine is part and parcel of your being than that which is in the world. Okay? So understand, when you are saying, I need to put a white light around myself, you have now moved from a position of strength to a position of fear. And you are opening yourself up to the very thing that you're trying to protect yourself from. It's like Christ said too, if you have faith of the grain of a mustard seed and you say to this mountain, move, it will move. So why are you limiting yourself and giving this dark shadow, which a shadow has what? It has really no substance other than what you give it. You put one little light and what happens? Okay? A shadow is just a reflection. And you're giving it so much power. So when I hear people say, put that white light around yourself, then I know these people do not have a lot of spiritual experience. Because if you've ever gone and you've dissolved into that divine is, you've imploded into that divine is, you understand immediately why karma exists, because that divine is within the center of all being. It's what gives you life. It's the life of all life and the death of all death. Understand that it's the life of all life and the death of all death. So what are you fearing? Okay? Why are you going into these dark imaginations and trying to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this ritual, I need to put this around me, Okay, you just limited yourself. You've just opened yourself to the very thing that now you're putting yourself in fear about. So understand what Yeshua ben Joseph was coming and telling people. Don't have fear. Fear not. Okay? Stand and understand that within you is all light. The light beyond lights is there. So don't limit. Don't put yourself in fear mode. Okay? So before I wanted to give this talk, I pulled cards. I just wanted to say, what can I give these people? And what's underneath of it, what came out, was this darkened mindset and trying to figure out your move. Okay? Oh my God, what am I going to do? What action am I going to take? I've got this dark shadow right here. And the light is way over here, and I got this dark shadow, and oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? I have to laugh. So the reading's about this toxicity, okay? This snake, father of what? Lies. The snake is what? And I'm not talking about Kundalini, and Kundalini activates and it causes you to go through and just face every fear, every trepidation, every misaligned ideation, okay? But you see here, the snake is the toxicity. What? The father of lies. What do you fear from a lie? It's not truth. It has no substance in reality other than what you give it. Okay? So it's that lie that wants to control. You're giving power of this lie to control. Okay? You want to give really a power to a lie to control? Okay? So, what do we do when it comes to these lies? Then what you need to do is to go within and rest, meditate, okay? Come to the truth. Rest in the truth. Are you resting in the truth? Or are you in here trying to figure out what am I going to do next? Okay? But it's saying the energy for the people is rest in the truth. Meditate. Come to the truth. Because what's going on now, you're looking for the quick fix. The agreement is about this thing that's only going to last you for a short time. If you go into that drama, that emotional drama, okay? Looking for something that's a 4-leaf clover, okay? So the challenge is for you to anchor in the message, the truth, the concrete message of what this gentleness. Is it having to fight with something? It's knowing within there. I just saw this. I never saw this before. She's like wrapped in the leaves. In leaves and flowers and the transformation, a gentle, okay? Reality. This is the reality that you need to anchor in. And what is it? The key is to where you're moving forward to, where you're moving this to, okay? And where you're moving this to is bringing it to its end. We don't need to put a white light around yourself. The end point is understanding of relaxation, taking it easy, okay? The wish-fulfilling card, this coming into this alignment of that you are in the family of God, okay? Relax. End this toxicity, this fear mode that you have going on, okay? So why do I not, some people, oh, you have your cards and you need to cleanse them and you need to, do all this stuff. Why? Because again, at the center of all this is the divine is. So I need to cleanse the divine is. You think anything sticks to the divine is? No. Okay. So no, I don't have to cleanse my cards. I don't have to cleanse my house. I don't have to burn sage. I don't need to look for an external thing. When you know the truth of what is, that the divine is, the light beyond light, as at the center of all is. Okay? Now you understand how darkness works. Let me tell you, it all starts with a seed of truth somewhere, but they take this truth and spin it till it becomes something else far away from what the truth is, okay? And the further it gets away from actual truth, the less power it has, okay? But they want you to believe this spin rather than the truth, okay? So lies begin with some kernel of truth somewhere, which they want to, get away from. And so they spin it until it has no anchor in truth anywhere, okay? So how much substance does it have? It only has the substance that you give it. That's the thing about the Kundalini journey. It goes through, they want to say chakras, this chakra, that chakra. It's levels and layers of consciousness, okay? Has nothing to do with the colorizations and this and that they want. It's a level and layer of consciousness. And you go through all the levels and layers of consciousness, whether it's survival and personal power and compassion and love, empathy, what's being spoken, what's being manifested. All of these things you go through, and it brings up all of this stuff for you to navigate through, okay? And you find out, you go through a portion of absolute terror and fear, and you have to sit there and not give it any energy, okay? If you try to love it, you give it energy. You try to fight it, you're giving it energy. You're giving it substance, okay? So the thing that you have to finally find out is it has no substance. If you give it no energy, it has no substance, okay? So that's the path. Each one of these things you are challenged with until you can get to the truth of it. And once you get to the truth of it, all the energetic stuff that it's surrounded goes. It goes. So again, the main teaching, whether it's Buddha or Yeshua ben Joseph, etc., any of the beings of light will never tell you to go into fear mode and protect yourself with a light. And thereby saying that, oh my God, I'm lesser than, so I need to look for something external, okay, that I can cling to. Know that within you is the divine is, okay? So don't put yourself in a place of fear. Because when you're saying, I need to put a white light, you need to put a white light, you're telling people to be in fear. Okay? You're giving the dark substance. You're giving it energy. You're giving it props. Okay? You're validating it. You really want to validate that? You really want to give that opening to the father of lies? Okay? Or do you want to believe what Yeshua ben Joseph has said? Or what Buddha has said? Any of these enlightened masters? Okay? Which way do you want to go? Okay? Which way do you want to go? I think you're much smarter to listen to Yeshua ben Joseph when he says, "Fear not, greater is that which is within you than that which is in the world." Okay, greater is that, unless you want to throw that away and diminish it and say, "I need a light around me." You are light, okay? You are light. You don't need to put a white light around you. You are already that. So stand up and understand that. Now, I have had encounters with ones of these dark things that, I've had a retreat before, and one of them was taking the things that I was teaching, using it to elevate themselves in their career, and then absolutely giving the, how do I want to say it? Giving the recognition to something else. Okay. So they came to this retreat. And because they were being a liar, because they were being deceptive, I came into this thing and it started spitting and started, this dark demonic thing, spewing all this stuff, try to put you in fear. Oh, really? 1 second, I put one finger in the middle of here, and that was the end of that. Okay. But that's what they do. These things go out and they growl and they spit and they, they have no power. They have no power. Okay. In the end. Okay. They have no power. So again, the most important thing you can keep is your honesty and integrity. It's what I tell my students. Live with honesty, integrity, transparency, sacredness, and simplicity. Go through that again. Honesty. Be honest. Have integrity. Be transparent. If there's something you need to hide, then it's something that is not, of that light. Okay? If you see things as sacred, how are you going to change? Find the sacredness and then live simply. Okay? Simplicity. And you can't go wrong. Okay? So on that note, I'll leave that here. Hopefully this has helped someone along the way. But again, when I see there's supposed to be readers and psychics and this and that, and they tell you you need to have a white light around yourself, then I'm saying they really need to go a lot further in their path. Do they understand what they're actually giving? Because where did that begin? It most surely wasn't with Yeshua ben Joseph. Wasn't with Buddha. Wasn't with any of the enlightened masters. Okay? Telling you to put this light, because you are a light body. You are a light being. Okay? So if you are not that light, then you are putting that shadow within yourself and covering that light. And what also does says, let your light shine, don't hide it under a bushel. Let your light shine, be there, be that. Don't cover it with some darkness, don't cover it over. Continue in that power, in that understanding, that self-confidence, that knowledge. And that's what Christ came to give, the good message. The good message. Don't fear those things. It's like it says, you know, when they took him down from the cross, the 3 days, he descended to hell, and hell could not hold him. He went to give the light. He went to give the truth. That darkness cannot hold the light. Okay? So again, just understand what's there, accept it, live it, okay? And you'll be fine. But don't allow someone to tell you that you need to surround yourself with a light, because you need to protect yourself. Protect yourself against what? A shadow? A lie? That's what you're going to protect yourself from. A lie? A spin? A shadow? Okay? That has no substance. That's what you're going to protect yourself from. Okay? So yeah, I'm going to leave that here. But hopefully somebody's gotten something from this. Please do not come here and tell me I need to sage my house, or I need to, you know, do you need to cleanse your cards? And oh my God, that was such a horrible thing that you had to read, or you had to, oh my God, how can you, because nothing sticks, okay? Nothing sticks. That's an illusion, okay? All of that drama is illusion. And that can cause your illness if you gravitate to that. Okay? But illusion has no substance other than what you give it. So don't give it that energy. Don't give it that substance. Okay? You look at it and say, really? Oh, you're all powerful? You think Trump is all powerful? He's a fool. He's an idiot. He's a con man. Okay? He's not powerful. Bone Spurs had to run away from the draft. That's why he hates anybody that was in the military, because they've got more substance than he could ever have. Okay? He's a wimp. Okay? So on that note, again, I, was going to turn this off a while ago, but more just keeps, coming in to say. But I think I'm about done with that now. So, yeah. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you online.